I've been a blacksmith armorer for over 30 years. I've created weapons for over 200 feature films. This is Man-at-Arms. I really enjoyed Kick-Ass, and Hit Girl's double-ended Naginata kind of spear was always a fun one, and we've had a ton of requests for it, so I'm really enjoying building it. I'm basing what I'm building more off of the concept art for the poster that shows a socketed spearhead as opposed to what was actually used in the movie. On Hit Girl's spearheads, I didn't really need a pattern. I just knew that I needed 1/4 inch thick 5160 steel, about 20 inches long. I cut that on the bandsaw and then started forging the ends on the power hammer. It's actually more work in making the spearhead for the socket. The shaft that I start off with is a red oak shaft, 1.25 inches in diameter, so we're looking at almost 4 inches. I need to take a piece that's 2 inches by 1/4 inch thick and spread it out 4 inches wide. I switched out the drawing dies that I normally use on the power hammer to a fullering die to give it more abrupt spreading of the edge of the metal. And then wrap that around using the SWAGE block. And then joining it together, TIG welding up the seam, and at that point taking it to a mandrel and hammering it to round. I forged the bevels on the blade, which caused the blade to curve outwards like a scimitar, but I wanted it to curve inwards like a sickle. In this case, I should have put the curve into the piece beforehand. Instead, I had to do it after the fact, which is a little bit more difficult. So I held it up on the edge of a block on the anvil and hit it the hard way down to cause it to curve back inwards. After I've got the blade rough forged in, I took it back over to the plasma cutter and just trimmed up all the edges so I didn't need to grind it all the way. The plasma cutter will reach temperatures of 45,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It strikes an electrical arc with a high pressure gas stream going through it and blow through up to 3/4 inch of steel. The blades are ground and they look good. I'm now going to harden them in the heat treating furnace. When I quench this, I'm only going to quench the blade. I'm going to do an edge quench. These socketed spearheads that I've made are a very hard steel, so what I'm trying to do is maintain the socket as a softer area so that I can drill through it afterwards. So I didn't quench that in the oil. That leaves the socket still relatively hot, probably about 1200 degrees. When oil gets on a 1200 degree piece of steel, it's going to catch on fire. The fire department is not going to be happy to hear this, but I probably have flash fires at least once a week. I tried putting smoke detectors in my shop a few years ago, but it was just useless crawling up on the ceiling and turning them off, so I just kind of gave up on that. I've tempered the spearheads and then taken them over to the belt grinder and smoothed out the grinds on that. I've also taken the wooden oak dowel, cut that down to 24 inches, and tapered the ends to fit into the sockets. Not only is Hit Girl's spear double-ended, but it comes apart in the middle. I have Alicia working on the jewelry bench, making a coupling, a steel tube with another tube on the inside that'll have a rivet going through that'll have like a bayonet connector, so you can use it as 2 blades or you can use it as a double blade. The final portion of this build would be to rivet the sockets to the oak poles, at which point I'll wrap the whole length of it in parachute cording. I've wrapped the oak dowel in paracord, and now Hit Girl's spear is complete. Thanks for watching Man-at-Arms. Be sure to subscribe. Tell me in the comments what weapon you'd like to see next.